Trump just made therapy great again. Hordes of liberals now being treated for Trump anxiety disorder. By Amy Moreno for TruthFeedNews.com. When we tell you liberals have lost their minds, we're not joking. They really have. As a matter of fact, counselors and therapists are now reporting patients are diagnosed with collective anxiety, quote, due to President Trump's so-called volatility. These liberals are so consumed with Trump derangement syndrome that they truly believe the world is about to end. From Breitbart, a correspondent with the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC, based in Washington, D.C., ferreted out a counselor who is treating people for a collective anxiety caused by President Donald Trump volatility. There is a fear of the world ending, Elizabeth Lamott, founder of DC Counseling and Psychotherapy Center, told CBC. It's very disorienting and constantly unsettling. CBC reported Lamont referred to it as a collective anxiety, quote, among patients who feel on edge about how potentially dire the president's decisions could be. What's been called Trump anxiety disorder has been on the rise in the months following the election, according to mental health professionals from across the country who report unusually high levels of politics-related stress in their practices. And it's maybe not surprising given the relentlessly negative headlines and politically divisive climate. This week it was a menacing, all caps, Trump tweet warning Iran about potentially historic consequences, quote. Previously, it was his Supreme Court picks and fear that the legal right to abortion could be overturned, or his immigration policy separating families at the border, or his apparent submission to Russian President Vladimir Putin before a global audience. But Lamont also described Trump supporters have issues telling CBC they feel isolated from friends and family. Whether it's conscious or not, I think we look to the President of the United States as a psychological parent, Lamont said in the CBC article. CBC reported that Trump anxiety disorder was coined in a 2017 essay included in a book written by clinical psychologist Jennifer Panning, who said the condition was different from other anxieties because symptoms were specific to the election of Trump and the resultant unpredictable socio-political climate. The CBC article did not include the fact that Panning was part of a petition campaign in 2017 calling for Trump to be removed from office because he manifests a serious mental illness that renders him psychologically incapable of competently discharging the duties of President of the United States. Trump anxiety disorder symptoms allegedly include feeling of a loss of control and helplessness, fretting and spending excessive amounts of time on social media. The CBC even connected Trump's selection of Supreme Court justices to anxiety being experienced by married lesbians who fear those justices will reverse gay marriage as the law of the land. CBC tracked down a clinical social worker, Roland Gabbard, in Bardstown, Kentucky, who said he's never heard such heavily politicized chatter before in his professional capacity, both from people feeling the president is being persecuted and people just beside themselves with worry about the direction of the country, Gabbard said. Well, as you can see, the kids have been indoctrinated, and they believe the mainstream media that the world is not what it's going to be with Trump, and then they're going to liberal, probably psychiatrists who don't like Trump, so it only increases their stress. So look, the fact of the matter is that I don't know what to do and say about this situation, because I'm sure it's real, you see. because they're being force-fed headlines, as they're saying from the news, that they're claiming that Trump is unhinged and he's going to take away your rights, and that the world is ending, and that all the falsities of what Trump represents. In the meantime, had Hillary won the election, there wouldn't be any time for psychiatrists, because we'd already be in confrontations at this point. So the destruction, see, they're worried about something that isn't true. Had Hillary won, that's when the world would change for them. This is what's really frustrating. And then you have the liberals. They're most likely 90% of them are in treating them. So you can just imagine the mess that's creating. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.